following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Let's go to Marty in Worcester, Mass. Hey, Marty, what's going on?
Hi, Mr. O'Brien. Got a quick little thing here.
Yeah?
It's called patience and perseverance.
Okay.
Patience. I heard a goddess yelling the magic silent word, and methinks I must be smelling pokey money round the world. Perseverance. When markets roil like stormy seas, good traders seek safe port. In financial times like these, you need Tom O'Brien's gold report.
You are too much, Marty, man. That is so cool. Well, listen, man, I really appreciate that.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Make it a great one. This quote is by Andrew Gide. Be faithful to which exists nowhere but into yourself. Philosophy, man. I got my computer expert, my tech expert next to me right here, Dave White. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials up 96, NASDAQ up 18, S&P's up 8.5, gold contract up $14.30, trading at $1,207 an ounce. Silver up 26 cents at $16.44 an ounce. Platinum up $17 at $1,173 an ounce. Copper up up half a penny at $2.73 a pound. Light sweet crude up 88 cents, trading at $51.61 a barrel. Bonds, we have the 10-year flat, 128.27. 30-year up 12 ticks at 163.20. And King Dollar up 210 ticks, trading out at 99.60. The Euro's down 56 at 106, getting close to par. And the yen is down 38 at 120.20. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. So in the world of the S&Ps, where we at? Where we at, folks, is this. You're at 209.95. You're over the downdraft from the 25th, which is 209.35. That's where we barreled down, and we came down with 159 million. You're going to do all of about 60 million today, but guess what? It looks like its price is going to hold. That's saying that, number one, you have game for 211, but the reality is you probably have game right for the highs again, 212.24.
Well, hold your breath, because Tuesday starts earnings cycle in earnest with the big stocks.
That's a good thing. I like that. And particularly because what we have is that in this quarter, what you're more than likely going to see, folks, is that strong dollar, we'll see whether it will affect them, but I suspect that it will. We go over to the NDX 100. We take a look at the 3 Qs. What you have with the 3 Qs is this. Up 35 cents. You're doing 12 million shares, and that's anemic volume, by the way, folks. Now, the 3 Qs haven't hit the 108.20 yet. The 108.20 is the top of the downdraft. Bottom line, looks like it's going to basically still hang in there with price. So that's a game out there of 106.70. The small caps, we take a look at the IWM. Inside the small caps, you don't have a lot of movement there, but you're right next to the high. The small caps are trading at 125.61. The high that 126.32. We've hit 125.79. I expect we're going to see that baby get hit. Now, let's go over to the gold contract. So the bulls and bears, no doubt, fighting over where gold's going to go, just like fighting over where the market's going to go. What is unusual out here today is that, guess what? You get a Friday after coming down a few days in gold, and bottom line, with the dollar up, yesterday 1,200 ticks, this morning 400 ticks, gold still went. And what you have is this. You're doing 113,000 contracts. You know, we went south. Well, the first expansion up, let me get this baby in here. Okay, so the first expansion up, you know, you're doing, we were doing 113,000, 134,000. 151 was the big day of strength. That was on April 1st. We backed down to that, and we backed down yesterday, and the day prior did 110. So bottom line, next week, this is building cause, folks. This is building cause to try to take out the B point, and we'll see whether it's an ABC structure on the way up. It's certainly acting great in the context of a Friday with the aspect that, not the aspect that the dollar was up so dramatically and gold held its own. If you look at the GLD, what you have with the GLD is 2.7 million shares. Now, the GLD is going to need a lot more volume, and the GLD is the one that was screaming before. It just didn't have the juice inside it. So we'll see how the GLD trades out at the beginning of this week. But the GLD, no doubt, is the number that you want to watch and watch closely. We're going to take a look at the silver contract, what we have with silver. And the divergence between gold and silver is there. It continues, and it goes back and forth. Sometimes silver's stronger than gold stronger, but silver, man, is so volatile, it's unbelievable. So silver today, it has 47,000 contracts, and that's not bad, but how silver came down with 46,000. So it would be really sweet if we could, basically have 60, 70,000. Silver's going to need more help. Both of those contracts, however, when they came off the bottom on March 17th, 18th, bottom line, that's saying that, listen, you broke that downtrend. And, we'll see if, in fact, we can make it up to the January 22nd swing highs. Now, let's go over to King Dollar. King Dollar is the number here, folks. King Dollar, no doubt, runs the metals market, runs the commodity market. Why? Because the bottom line is that everything's priced in dollars. So higher the dollar goes, you can make the correlation lower commodity prices could go. So King Dollar, we've hit 99.97 today. The high of the March 18th downdraft is 100.12. And this is going to be a trip because it looks like King Dollar even is going to close over this 26 area. We're at 99.61 right now.
Well, when it got up to $100, they went. I mean, everybody and their dog went after it at the top, and I don't know if that's intervention from the Treasury or the Fed or World Banks, but they got close there. They went after it. Now, probably because we were close to the previous highs out there, but it looked to me like that dollar index is what everybody, maybe the Treasury's looking at that dollar index is the thing that they're really more concerned about, and maybe all the intervention is on, maybe thinking about
listen,
that.
Man, there's no doubt. I mean, Fibonacci-wise, we did a 1 to 2 ABC structure on the way up, so technically it's ready to go. Fundamentally, there's no doubt, okay, that it's a problem. It's so ironic about this whole deal, folks, okay? And this is where you can see the hypocrisy inside the financial business in general and politics in general. Everyone was complaining about a weak dollar, right? And now everyone's going to complain about a strong dollar. It's just amazing. That's the way it goes. And we go over and we take a look at the bond market. We use the TLT. What you're looking at inside the TLT is this, folks. The TLT is the 20-year bond plus, and the TLT right now trading sideways out here today, 3.7 million shares. They couldn't break it down yesterday. Yesterday they had a shot to break it down, and what they did, they got it down to 129.13. You did 6.4 million shares, but guess what? You're going into 9 million. So the way that the bond market is set up, the bond market continues to basically build cause for higher price. Each and every one of these pullbacks in the bond market is like minimal. We were at 130.04 on this run-up. On the 10-year, right now you're at 128.27. That's certainly not a big number. There's no two ways about that. Inside the Dow Industrials, which putting the strength inside the Dow Industrials today is you have GE. GE is up $2.71. They're selling everything they didn't nail down. They're going to sell anything that's not nailed down. It cracks me up. There's no doubt. So they got a $50 billion deal with BlackRock folks, and they'll sell everything that's not nailed down. Caterpillar's up $1.92. That's a decent run. Intel's up 60 cents, and you got Costco up 36. Taken away from it on the way down putting pressure on it rather. Nike is down 61. You got Merck off 30. Coca-Cola is down 14, and Visa's down 25. Inside the NDX 100, what we have is this. The NDX 100 is up 14. The leader out there is Netflix, is up $14. You got Intuitive Surgical up 14. Look at that, same thing.
Yeah.
1473 is Netflix. 1483 is Intuitive Surgical. Alexa Pharmaceuticals up 494, and you have Western Digital up $1.95. This is Tom O'Brien. Got our man, Mr. Dave White, with us. You stay right there, folks. We'll be coming right back. We'll be coming into this close. And this coming into this close is going to be a beauty, folks, because we'll see whether this S&P can hold these numbers. We're certainly right at those highs, and we'll know real soon. Dow right now is up 86. Nasdaq's up 16. S&P's up 7.5. Gold's up 14.80. Silver's up 28 cents. We're going to be right back, folks.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Tom takes your phone calls. Now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us. Don't forget, folks, every trading day at TFNN, we start programming at 8 o'clock in the morning. Go from 8 to 6 in the afternoon. You can get all that programming right on your cell phone, tfnn.mobi. Want to get Tiger TV, just go to tfnn.com. Hit the little box on the right-hand side. You'll see it says mobile devices. Hit that. Tiger TV will get right onto your phone. We got our man, Mr. Dave White here, and when I'm looking at a slide and it says policies don't mean much.
They don't mean much when you go bankrupt. And that's what's happened with Radio Shack. We were talking about it going down. Something I never really thought about was all the data they kept on all the customers they ever had, because they were huge cell phone sellers forever, right?
Sure, right.
So they've got all that data on where you were, where you lived, all of it, and they're basically selling it. And of course, their policy was, we will not sell or rate your personally identifiable information to anyone at any time.
So that's a quote you got off their private policy, right?
Right.
So it's legal. So it's a policy. I see what you're saying. It's not a law. It was a policy.
Even if it was agreement, it would be that you signed. It would be broken when they went bankrupt.
Okay.
So when you are looking and giving data to folks,
That's intense, man.
and they go bankrupt,
Right.
it can go to anybody. Theoretically, somebody with some money that was a criminal could buy it and use all this data.
And realistically, well, I guess they'd have to be
They wouldn't do it.
No, they're
They
going to be
wouldn't
careful
do
as
it.
who they sell
Yeah.
it to. But because Radio Shack, there's no doubt, sold huge amounts of phones right until they ended.
Well, probably the last 2 years, what killed them more than anything was the deal that Apple and Samsung made with Best Buy to cut them out.
Okay.
They were basically pushing one of the vendors, and Apple and Samsung didn't like them pushing Sprint to the effect of the others, and they kind of cut Radio Shack out, and that was kind of their demise.
Was it.
Well, if you went into Best Buy last couple of years, you would have seen that big corral for cell phones that wasn't there before, right?
For sure.
And that's really what killed.
And because the Best Buy ones are right in the middle of the store.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
And they rented it out, but to me, it was a kind of a wake-up call that doesn't matter what anybody says. Eventually, your data can be sold to somebody else. If you had an agreement, you could theoretically sue them, but in bankruptcy, all those things just get shredded.
There you go.
Which is what happened to that.
Yep.
Other things happening of interest this week, talking about not owning something or coming back out of it, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act contains anti-circumvision prohibits you basically hacking things. So what the EAA is basically, or the EFF is actually talking about, that's the Electronic Freedom Foundation, is asking the courts to determine whether you physically own a car or not. Because if you can't repair the car, do you own it? And since the new new cars are going to be so much electronics, do you have the right to modify or change or do anything to it that doesn't have to do with emissions? And according to the industry group that represents all the car companies, the answer is no. You would have zero rights to work on your car other than if it's a bolt or a nut. If it had anything to do with electronics.
I got to slow you down.
Okay.
Okay, so the top of the slide, folks, reads, sorry, this car is licensed to you.
Is not,
And so what you're saying is that, specifically, I go and buy a car, right? I pay for the car. I bring the car home. Is this part of the automakers that they don't want?
The automakers are looking at licensing cars the same way software is licensed to you.
That's so
you
smart.
don't physically,
oh my God, that's
you don't
sick.
physically own it. And the idea would be that anything you try to do or change to it that isn't part of their kit, right, would be a violation of the digital, like your act there.
Well, we know that we have software. That's what our software license says. So I mean, right?
But it's not a physical thing.
No, I understand.
The car is certainly a physical thing.
But you know what has happened? There's no doubt. What has happened, folks, and this is what's bizarre. all these ideas just keep coming up. It's a smart idea. I mean, because the bottom line is that what are you going to do? The real question is going to be, will the marketing be, I can see General Motors at one of the companies say, hey, you can own your car. It's not a licensing deal.
You know what the weirdest part of this whole thing is?
What?
One person gets to decide whether it is, and it's not a judge. It's the Librarian of Congress makes every decision on this. And it's not Congress, it's not the president, it's nobody except the Librarian of Congress. He decides what if you go to jail or not, or what you do with it, if cell phones are covered or not.
Except that, okay, so I just want to, because, so...
The way the law is written, one man makes this decision.
No, I understand how that works. I understand how that works. But who is going to enforce it? Like, let's say you're GM. I buy a car off you. Who's behind this? That's my point. Are the car makers behind it?
Well, the EFF got wind of it. So they basically tried to preempt them and bring the subject up before they could actually come out with it. Now what's happened is it's in front of the Library of Congress. And that one librarian, you know how they wrote all the laws for the Affordable Care Act, that the Secretary of this will make all determinations? That's exactly the same way that this law is written for the Digital Millennium Act, that the Librarian of Congress gets to make all decisions.
And so the digital, but who's behind the push?
The push started from the EFF because they
who's the EFF?
The Electronic Freedom Foundation, Electronic Freedom Foundation. And it's basically people that are pushing for your rights electronically in the world, right? So your right for privacy, your right for everything else. They are, I hate to call them do-gooders, but they're basically people that are out there.
But 1 second, I just want to get this clear. So are they for or against this digital act?
They believe that you have the right to repair your own car.
No, thank God. Okay, good. Okay. So that's got to get straightened out. Right.
Well, it will be. But the amazing thing is that Congress basically wrote themselves out of any ability.
Congress is crazy. That's a no-brainer.
They're insane.
That's a no-brainer.
This is where you start getting into the unintended consequences of a bill that was meant to keep software and movies from being copyrighted,
right?
But they didn't specifically spell it out in the bill. So now we've got one person that's going to make all these decisions.
Yeah, that's going to get canned, though. Okay.
You can hope.
That's going to get canned. Autism.
Autism affects about 1 out of 156 kids.
Okay, that's a big number.
It is a big number, and the best thing, we've been talking about it for about the last 2 years, is the increase in being able to sequence DNA has brought us to the point where we can now find out where that DNA is and start looking for why the cause is. And basically, we found out over the last couple of months from a lot of papers coming out that women are about 1/10 of that compared to men. So they were able to go back and figure out that,
so women get autism a lot less.
10 times less.
Yeah, okay, right.
Okay, so if you have a boy, he's a lot more likely to be autistic.
The folks that I've seen,
what that does do is let all these biotech companies now look at male DNA, female DNA, and now they can start honing in on
us males
what's
need
happening.
some of that female DNA, I guess, huh?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you.
Hey. Dave White, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We're coming right back. Dow is up 92, Nasdaq's up 17, S&Ps are up 850. We're going to be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund is currently offering 4-year first mortgages on many of the fully renovated properties that it has purchased. The first mortgages are third-party appraised with a maximum loan-to-value ratio of 70%, providing a secured investment that pays a fixed return of 5% annually, which works out to a monthly income of more than $416 per $100,000 investment with your principal intact and secured. These 4-year first mortgages are perfect for anyone looking for a secured investment that provides monthly income much like a CD. For more information, email tigerfund@tfnn.com or click on the Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund banner along the right side of the tfnn.com homepage, or call our office directly at 877-518-9190. There's a limited supply, so act now.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling, prowling with us out here. So, the slide we have up, we're talking about autism, and women get it 90% less than men.
Right, but it now that everything is computerized with DNA,
yes,
it's become very much the same kind of effort that code breaking was for everybody else. You're basically looking to break the code, and once you find a difference here and a difference there,
they're looking for the gene that's in.
Right, they pretty much think that they found it.
Oh, okay.
Now, but the whole idea is you need to find something radically different between two sets of groups.
Yes.
And then you can really go through the data and mine that data and then start looking for it, because DNA is monstrously big. It's, what, 3.6 billion characters.
Did you see that the top NASA scientist, right, said that they absolutely know now that there's life in the universe, and now when they're not talking about life like you and I are talking, but molecules.
Yeah.
Okay. But he went on to say, and you know what's so cool about this, folks? Okay, the NASA scientists are, I mean, my take is that they're incredible. Well,
we're going to talk about them in a minute.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you like them.
we do.
And the reason, but the statement was absolutely incredible, because the statement that he was talking about is that, number one, they know that they're out there. Number two, that, he made it very clear that we're not talking humans here. We're talking a lot of molecules. But then he said after that, he says, well, guess what? Life begins somewhere. And he was stating that, Okay. Warp drive.
Right. We're talking about NASA here.
Okay.
Okay. NASA has come out with some other people. And if we were going to leave and go to any other planets or even go to Mars, it takes us an eternity.
Well, what TV show is a warp drive? Remember?
Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek.
Right.
Okay, cool.
But, the thing has been, if you want to go to Mars, you've got to take the fuel up there to get you to Mars and then get you back. So you're not going to be going very fast because you're hauling all this fuel both there.
Yeah.
You got to stop, hang out there for a while. Then because you're traveling such a long distance, you have to wait until the Mars comes around and gets close to the Earth again before you take off, come back. So you got
You missed that window. You're really
right. You're kind of screwed. So the whole idea of this has been, if we're relying on basically rocket engines to propel us, it's going to be problematic. So this guy's been working on this way of propelling rocket ships in outer space. It won't work in the atmosphere.
Okay.
But once you get past the gravity of the Earth, there is something that they've got. And the first time I heard about it, I said, you've heard about 20 of these kind of things like cold fusion, and then you find out that it's a lot of, pie in the sky kind of stuff. They actually have found something now, and it's called a CAN drive, CANNAE.
Okay.
I didn't report it when it first came out, but the guy that designed it sent it to NASA and also sent the diagrams to a big institution in China. And they both have come back and said, yes, there's something here. Now, this may be a little bit farther on, but this doesn't shoot something out the back end like rocket fuel would.
Okay.
That means that you would have to carry that rocket fuel with you. What this thing is the equivalent of is a microwave like you have in your kitchen.
House. Yeah.
Pointed backwards in a vacuum, and it will give kind of a little push, but it's constant, and it doesn't quit. And guess what? If you had a small nuclear reactor, you could hook this thing up, and it's going to give you a push, and it's going to not ever quit. In the case of this, they've figured it out, that it would be about 180 pounds pushing on you, on your rocket ship. But it would never quit. So what's going to happen is that a trip to Mars that would have taken a year, 9 months, could get down to maybe 30 or 45 days.
Really?
So there won't be that huge problem of missing your window, or at least as bad as it would have been before. That if you have a good power source that you wouldn't have to carry with you. Now, 180 pounds doesn't sound much, but it's pushing on you minute after minute, second after second, right? So you get about 3/4 of the way there, you got to turn around and turn this thing back on to slow you back down. But in theory, as long as you have something that gives you lots of power. But the whole idea now is that everybody, I mean, even going to the first star has been out of the question, because the spaceship would be in space for 300 years. What they figured out is that if this works, it would take less than 30 years to get to the nearest star. So conceivably, in somebody's lifetime, we could be looking at planets on other stars And that would be it. That's 4 light years. So
Man, it must be, whoever thought of this, that mind is incredible. Hey, what is on a star? What is a star? Is a star a planet? No.
No,
That's
a star is hydrogen that is basically and basically so compressed
Okay.
that it basically is always fusing on itself, and just like a giant bomb that's always going off.
Really?
Yeah.
So no one's been on a star that we know of.
Well, no, you can't even get close to a star without turning into a cinder.
Okay.
Probably the most interesting thing about stars is that the light from our sun takes about 8 minutes to get from the sun to here.
Yes.
But all that light happens in the center of it. That light takes anywhere from 10,000 years
Yeah.
to 100,000 years to get to the top of the sun. So the light we're seeing was actually generated maybe 20,000, 30,000 years ago, but it is so dense that the photons are just bouncing around in there. Eventually they make the way to the surface and they come out of there. So those photons have been out there forever. Were
That's
made
wild.
a long time ago.
No, and that's why they say some of the stars might even not be there anymore. That
Right.
we're looking at.
If we're looking at something 30 light years back there,
Who
you're
knows?
basically talking about almost a
That's
a
pretty cool.
lifetime.
It's pretty cool, though, man.
Now, of course, like I said, it's all this week. All the tech news tends to be about these guys that are around and in rocketry. Now, we talked about Jeff Bezos from Amazon digging up the old engines from the Saturn V from the
Yes.
Apollo series.
Right.
Well, he's finished his testing. So he went from digging those out last summer to actually having a working engine now. He's tested it. I forget what it said. He's got it. It was like
Now,
30,000 seconds.
Did he get to keep those engines?
He's donating them after he takes them apart to the Smithsonian.
Okay.
But he got them out. He figured out, reverse engineered them. The thing was, no one's made an engine that big because we haven't been going to the moon, right?
Right.
So he's looking at his space venture, which is SpaceX, right?
No, that's
Origin. Excuse
yeah.
me, Blue Origin.
Right.
SpaceX is Musk.
Yeah. Because you got Musk and you got the Virgin Atlantic guy and you got Bezos, right?
His business is going to be launching extremely heavy things. Now that the space shuttle is not around and some other stuff that we want to send maybe to the moon, other things like
I
that.
already got those moon guys on Amazon Prime.
But anyway, look for. There's a lot of these space companies. I'm looking for them to go public in the next year.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because next weekend, Musk is going to try landing his rocket once again on a.
Okay. It was close last time, so it'll probably
it was
get
close
us this
last time.
Yeah.
Close, but they're going to be it. But most of these guys are probably within 6 months or a year to having everything ironed out and just go into a machine where they build stuff, they send it up, and it comes back. And whether it's Blue Origin or the rest of them.
In the next couple of months, you know what I'd love to do? That Google Ventures, right?
Yeah.
We should do a show on that. Because the Google, the guy that, you can live 500 years old. Yeah, no, totally. Because what's so wild, folks, is that this guy came out, it's Google Ventures. They're giving him $500 million a year.
Yeah.
Investing, right?
Yeah.
And, when I first read that it doesn't, well, here, I'll just cut to the chase. I read his interview last week, and inside that interview, who's the guy that the writer that he wrote the book? He's the futurist guy, Kurtzman? No,
Kurzweil.
Kurzweil,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so Kurzweil, is the idea, right? This other guy that's running it, the guy's putting a lot of money into all these different things. But he really said it quite simple. I mean, he says, hey, listen, he says the couple different things he thinks is going to happen. Number one, that we're going to get used to being a machine. Number two, that these replaceable parts are real. And he says, I'm not saying whether it's 20 years, 30 years, or 50 years, but that replaceable part. And I start thinking about that. I says, that really does make sense, because if we go back 50 years, who would think you could replace hearts and livers and all of that? Well, it's probably 70 years ago. It's probably 100 years ago for that. But
the question I have is your brain. How do you replace that?
well, the brain will keep going.
I don't know about that. I mean, are you if you're in a computer? I don't think so. I think the way you are, your personality, even if they could move it to a computer, I don't think it's you anymore.
It depends whether I have a winning day or a losing day. Dave White, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Folks, as you come over to our website at TFNN, you're going to see right in the carousel, next Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a webinar next Wednesday. It's going to be the foundation of option trading. That webinar is going to go from 5 to 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you want to understand options, check it out. It's right on the front page of TFNN. It's only $97. You get an hour and a half of great education. You'll get a nice, clear understanding of how you can either go long, go short, do the spreads on options. If you can't make it live, don't worry about it. It's on your page for a full 30 days. We're looking at a slide here, and it says sticks in the next unit of computing. Where do you see this, folks? This is amazing.
It's about the size of a USB thumb drive,
yeah.
right? Maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But when Microsoft changed the way that they license software.
Yes.
If the device is less than $300, you don't have to pay Microsoft $50 for the license for Windows.
Okay.
So everybody's figured out how to really make these devices a lot less expensive.
Yes.
And they are basically pushing two different forms of home computing, but with very small devices. This first one is called a stick, and like you said, it's just a little bit bigger than a USB. You plug it into the HDMI port of your television,
okay,
and you've got a computer. You just use a wireless mouse and everything else.
Yeah.
So
you use a wireless mouse, but then
wireless
the keyboard. Okay, right, I got it. Right,
They're
okay.
just Bluetooth connected,
sure, right.
So these are going to have enough memory and a big enough processor. In fact, this one has the same processor I have in my little tiny laptop and my portable one, and the same amount of RAM. So it's going to work pretty good. Same processor, same speed, and everything. So it's basically my $300 laptop at $150 because there's no screen, nothing else. You just plug it in your television, you're ready to go.
And the reality is, unless you're crunching numbers or anything else, all our computer power is way more than we need anyway, right?
Well, if you're not me, yeah.
No, but everyone.
If you're doing graphics processing or pre-press or compiling programs like me, then yes, it's more important. But probably 80% of the people can get by without it.
Yeah, no, exactly, right.
So now this is the first part of it. The other thing that they're pushing, they've been out for a little while, but there hasn't been a big push for them yet, and it's called NUC, N-U-C. It's called the next unit of computing, and this is a slightly expandable PC, where the other sticks are not. You can put in a lot of memory. You can get these things with i7s, the fastest processors Intel makes. And these things sell from about $250 to about $350.
It's amazing.
So if you are looking for new PCs in the future, and if you looked at something like this that was in a normal PC box with a big power supply, everything else, you'd probably be looking at a $500 or $600 PC. You can get these for about $250, $350, and they take SSD drives, so they're going to be smoking fast. They're not as expandable as the big boxes, but my guess is that we're going to see a lot of people move to this form factor over the next year, and the big thing's going to be that maybe boxes aren't going to be what we have under our desks in a year or two, right? A lot of this stuff's just going to be built in, it's going to be on the chips, and there is going to be a whole lot else out there.
Yeah, let's go to the watch. So he's got the Apple Watch. So today was the day, folks. Today you can go to Apple, you can go buy.
No, you can order it.
You can order it.
You can order
it. That's right.
In fact, today is the day that you can go to a store at noon and buy a Samsung phone, the latest phone, or you can go into an Apple store and
I gotta look at that Samsung phone.
Order the watch.
Right.
Now, today is the rollout of the watch, and I've got a little bit of theory, and it was a guy that called you this week and said, hey, that you could just order them in there, that they didn't want short lines to make
I
look
know.
like it. Good idea.
Yeah.
Mine is a little bit different on this.
Yeah.
And if you've got a movie that's not going to do well,
Right.
and maybe the reviewers are not going to like,
Right.
and you know it going in, and
Right.
you're a big movie studio,
Right.
you open it overseas where there aren't a lot of reviewers or anything
There's
else,
no doubt.
and you get that business before they can say anything.
Right.
Now, I don't think the product's a dog, but what I do think is that a lot of these, they're going to sell basically 4/5 of all these watches overseas. There's
Okay.
not going to be a whole lot of these things in the U.S. In the meantime, there's a lot of problems that the watch still has in the software, and my guess is that most people are not going to get these watches in the U.S. until midsummer. And by midsummer, they're going to have a lot of the stuff that's wrong with this thing fixed. And if you're probably somewhere overseas, you're not going to have an easy way to complain about it. Here in the United States, there'd be Twitter wars and Facebook pages and people trying to bin the thing. And if you get on a negative bin on a product, it's hard to come back from.
There's no doubt.
My guess is that they're going to try to push all the early sales where people can't complain and be heard as much in other countries.
Well, what's interesting too is that Apple, the last quarter, they're not going to break that out. They're not gonna, they're not going to break out those sales. That said quite a bit. And in that aspect, folks, I'm going to just shift gears for a second because Baker Hughes come out this morning. So Baker Hughes, folks, huge driller. Well, guess what? They came out this morning and they said they are not publishing their drill counts anymore every quarter. That's the essence. I mean, that's it. They said, no, we're not publishing them anymore. We're not publishing them because they just don't want to give the information out because they know it's going down. But back to the watch.
In about another week or two, we should see a few of these out, and people are going to take these things apart. We're going to find out what's inside them. We're going to get a good idea of what the margin is once they go through the bill of materials that it takes. Right now, we don't have a real good idea of what this is. My guess is that this is probably somewhere around the 30 or 35% margins like the tablets are. Now, if you're talking about the 69% margins that they're making on iPhones, you have to sell about 3 or 4 of these to make up one iPhone. And a lot of the growth that Apple's been looking forward to is kind of like the Kirby vacuum cleaner, right? You sold them the phone, now we're going to sell you a watch, and we're probably going to have other things to glue on to that phone in the future to make additional money.
Sure.
But at the same time, is it going to move the needle for Apple in a way that they need it? They need another product that makes 70% margins to really make it look like they're moving because they're so large already.
Oh, there's no doubt. And what's going to be intriguing is that I heard a couple of the reviews yesterday, and so evidently
they're not all that.
The download, it takes quite a while just for the apps.
Yeah.
Because you're still working through the phone, but they're saying that that's going to change too. We know it's going to change. That's the reality.
They came out with the SDK way, way late, which is the software development kit.
Okay.
So if you weren't in Apple, your apps don't know really how to program it.
Right.
So a lot of the third-party apps today are pretty poor.
Okay.
And
that'll change, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking, that they pushed a lot of these overseas, that by midsummer, now they have the SDK. We're probably going to see June, July, that you're going to see some of the first products that actually give a good use case for it.
Listen, folks, check out the option course I'm doing next Wednesday right in the front page of TFNN. And always remember, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. And whatever you want in life, folks, visualize it, step into it, take ownership of it, and fly with it. Thanks for being here, folks. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. We look forward to speaking right here Monday. Thanks, Dave.
You bet.
Appreciate it. Meow! Go get them, folks.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
This is TFNN.